Welcome everybody to tonight's contest between the South Kitsap Wolves and the Central Kitsap Cougars, as we are going to go down to the field. The South Kitsap NJROTC presenting the colors, and the South Kitsap High School Marching Band with the Star Spangled Banner. That was the South Kitsap High School Marching Band with the Star Spangled Banner here tonight, as the NJROTC from South Kitsap High School presented America's colors. And we are getting ready for tonight's contest, a big football game here tonight at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School. The South Kitsap High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Gary Grams. A beautiful evening here for football. A little chilly on this October 28th evening, but we're really looking forward to a great football contest here tonight between two powerhouse rivals, the South Kitsap High School Wolves and the Central Kitsap High School Cougars. South Kitsap and Central Kitsap with a storied rival between the two schools over the years, as the NJROTC colors are just now leaving the field, as we are getting ready to come to you live on Wave Broadband Cable Digital Channel Access 205 here in Kitsap County, and we are also streaming to you live around the globe on the internet through the Kitsap Sun website. I'm Darren Bowden, the voice of the Wolves, and joining me again in the booth tonight, another legend himself, former long-time football coach and the head baseball coach here at South Kitsap High School, Jim Fairweather. And Jim, what are we looking here tonight for this big football team between the two powerhouses?
Well, obviously there's a lot at stake, because there's one playoff berth left and two teams that need to have it in the worst way, and so this rivalry just got a little bit tighter as these two teams are going to square off. Its winner moves on, and loser plays a meaningless game next week against an unnamed 3A opponent. And well, I'll tell you flat out, as a coach, that's not what I would want. I don't care. I want to get in the playoffs because things happen in the playoffs. So huge game. Very much a lot of interest in the outcome of this on a lot of different levels, and it is senior night on top of everything else, and so this is a must-win for the Wolves.
Like you said, Jim, South Kitsap coming in with an overall record of 5-3, and Central Kitsap coming in with an overall record of 4-4, but both squads are tied at the moment in league play in the Narrows League. And like you said, Jim, this is a must-win. This is like a playoff game here tonight. The winner will move on to the playoffs, and the losing team, their season is done.
That is correct. Yes, both teams have beat the bottom three teams and then lost to the top three. Bellarmine's ranked number 2 in the state, and they're having a great season. And Olympia's ranked number 7 in the state, and their only losses to Bellarmine. And then Gig Harbor, they squeezed that one out against us a few weeks ago, and so they're the number 3 team. And this is for number 4, and then the winner of this gets to travel all the way up, play the Edmonds Woodway Warriors, a ground-pounding team out of the Westco, and again, the loser gets to play one of the Narrows 3A teams, like a Lincoln Foss or somebody like that, and in a meaningless end of the season game, and that would be just absolutely a real bummer for anybody, either with these two teams. They'd have to go do that.
Well, we're excited to have 4 quarters of football here tonight. It's such a big game, essentially a playoff game between South Kitsap and Central Kitsap. The conditions have turned much more favorable now earlier than what it was with the weather forecast, with hard rain and high winds blowing, but that has all subsided, although the field is wet. But it should be a really good football game here tonight, as Central Kitsap is going to receive the kickoff. South Kitsap will be kicking off tonight, doing the kicking duties as always all year long. The senior, number 17 for South Kitsap, Aaron Ladeau. And like you said, Jim, this is also a really big game tonight because it's senior night for those Wolves out there.
Well, and then of course conditions probably will have some kind of a turn in the outcome of this game, and you can see from your TVs all the glowing coming off the field from the lights. That will tell you where all the real heavy wet spots are as Ladeau kicks it off, and back there deep.
Got the ball at the 10-yard line. They got to get to the outside, and there's a little bit of room. He's got a couple of blockers. Aaron Ladeau is right there to try and help take him down, and he doesn't, but he is forced out of bounds. That was number 27, Greg Cleveland. He got the kickoff at his own 10-yard line and ran it all the way back to the South Kitsap 28. So just like that, a big kickoff return for the Cougars.
Well, momentum early, and that's kind of what you want if you're the visiting team for sure. Try and take the crowd out of it, get a little bit of first strike ability here, and CK got that in that run back all the way out to the 28-yard line.
Central Kitsap with the big return will have excellent field position here with 11:47 here at the start of this game. In at quarterback is number 12, Josh Sweeterman, who is in the shotgun. They're going to hand the ball off to the tailback, who takes it straight up the middle, but not until he gains a couple of yards. Take it up, gain of about 8 yards, down or 7 down to the 21-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 3 for Central Kitsap. Central Kitsap with the opening kickoff returned, a big return down to the South Kitsap 28-yard line, and CK is on the move. Sweeterman is in the shotgun. He looks to his right. He's got a man out in the flat. The pass is caught, makes a move, cuts up inside, but there's a couple Wolves right there to stop him, but not until he gets the first down.
Dustin Simmons with that catch. That's a good job of getting free of the first guy. Always make the first guy miss, get extra yards after catch, hang on to the ball. That's a good job by him.
CK with the first down at the South Kitsap 13-yard line. They are knocking on the door right here early on in the game. A big kickoff return by Central Kitsap, and they are sending trips wide receivers to the far side. Sweeterman is still in the shotgun. They're going to hand the ball up, and they do hand the ball to the up back, who gains a couple on the play, not much on the gain, maybe 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Central Kitsap can get a first down. They need to get down to the South Kitsap 3-yard line.
That's Nick Zodwatsky, and he's their primary back, a junior. He's a 5'11", 170-pound junior. And he does a lot of their in-the-middle stuff, and then they'll run sweeps with their man in motion a lot of times. So that's kind of a spread offense, get everybody out, open up gaps that way. Lots of ball fakes. You got to read keys in this offense, definitely, or you're going to get fooled.
Sweeterman under center this time. They're going to hand the ball off to Zawatsky again. He bounces out to the outside, but not until he's chased down by Adam Gascoigne, who takes him down he only gained a couple on the play, but nice tackle by Gascoigne on the corner.
Well, that's the Wolves' strength, too. Now, they're a better perimeter team probably than up the middle, so CK's just testing the waters, I'm sure, making sure that their game plan is what they want it to be, and I'm going to believe very seriously that their game plan is straight up the middle, go right through the A gaps and test the inside backers of the Wolves.
3rd and 7 for CK. They've got the ball at the South Kitsap 10. They need to get down to the 3. They send a man in motion. Sweeterman is going to hand the ball off to the up back, but not till he's taken down. That's Dustin Simmons one more time. He may have squirted forward for a yard, but nothing doing right there. Good defense by the Wolves, where it'll be 4th down.
That's a real good job by the Wolves, because if you've been scouting these guys, which I know CK does a great job of, they know that we've been kind of a little bit vulnerable in the middle of the field, and the perimeter's our strength. Passing, we're pretty good, but definitely this is where you want to run the ball if you're trying to run it. So definitely we see a tendency already of what CK wants to do this evening.
Central Kitsap unable to get the ball into the end zone, and they're going to try a 26-yard field goal attempt. and the kick is up, and it is good.
That's
and
Weston Sodi on that.
just like that, Central Kitsap takes the first score. Looked like Sweeterman did the kicking on that one too, and CK goes up on the board 3-0 here with 8:53 remaining. But it was all set up early, Jim, and like you said, one of the things that could be a key here is field position, and we had correction on that number, which was number 3. That was Weston Sodi.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. You bet. And doing the kicking duties there. But field position could be everything here tonight, Jim.
Oh, definitely, with the conditions the way they are, because the field looks really good. But having been on it many times, especially after rains like we had today, you'd know that we call this the bog for the reason. It's really swampy, really mucky, and soccer was on it last night, and everybody is on it for different things, and it takes a beating this time of year. So definitely you want to have short fields if you can have them to try to score points, and CK let themselves with that after that long kickoff, and so got 3 out of it. Credit the Wolves, though, for not having it be worse than that, because they're almost in field goal range from the very beginning of that drive. So we'll see what kind of response they have. But I was going to add to Sodi's resume here. He's related to the many Sodis that have history here at South Kitsap. Brian Sodi played football here years ago in the 80s. Uncle Nolan played here in the late 90s. And not sure what he's doing going to CK, but good to see a Sodi playing football. That's a great family.
Well, back deep to receive, Bryce Broom and Adam Gascoigne. Broom is going to have the ball at his own 7-yard line. He's got some blocking up front. He stutter steps, tries to put his head down and keeps us going. His feet keep going, and he's going to get past the 30. Nice return by Broom. He gets down to the 31-yard line where the South Kitsap Wolves will come out on offense for the first time. And, like you said, Jim, the field conditions are a little bit muddy and swampy down there. We saw the officials out there earlier stomping down on the ground. You could see the puddles coming up.
Well, and then on that run right there, all those feet flying and all in one spot, you saw all kinds of splashing. And that is along the sidelines of the Wolves is one of the swampier spots. Right there at that 40-yard line marker, there's a big bog right there. Number 2 is going to line up in the cornerback.
So South Kitsap comes out. Broom goes in motion. Eddie Meisner's going to pitch the ball to Gascoigne. He's got a little bit of blocking on the outside. There he goes. He's tripped up, makes a cut up the middle. Nice job. They sealed off the offensive line, did the Cougars on defense, and Gascoigne was able to get a huge gain on the play just past midfield, mark it down at the Central Kitsap 48-yard line.
Well, that's a great job on the onside, reach blocking, getting on the outside shoulder of the defensive lineman and just sealing that whole side. That's really easy. And then, of course, Broom already has the corner, so he seals that first backer, and it's nothing but daylight for Gascoigne to run that pitch.
Gascoigne with the big first down. South Kitsap on the move, had the ball at their own 31. They get down to the Central Kitsap 48-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 1 lone setback. Perez goes in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Gascoigne, a little bit of blocking up front. He puts his head down and he gets forward. I think he may have it. We'll have to see where they spot it. He might be just a hair short of that first down, but good blocking up front. And I'll tell you what, Coach, you can sure see there's a fire in some bellies down there tonight between these 2 rivals.
Well, that's kind of a new look for the Wolves I've not seen. They run double tight end. They put Bryce Broom as the weak side tight end. But then they flexed Chase Lopez, who's our number 1 dominant tight end, and put him in motion, and he ran fullback. Haven't seen that before, so that was kind of cool. Now you're going to same formation now with Chaz Bauman at tailback.
Meisner sends a man in motion. They need 1 yard to get the first down. 2nd and 1 at the 39. Meisner's going to fake, roll to his left. He's got a man out in the flat, and it's almost caught just on the outstretched hands of that's Devin Newquist.
Devin Newquist, yeah. Joseph Sanchez on the coverage, and we had to get it over Joe. He had a pretty good coverage on Newquist there. Had to get it over him and just a little bit out of the reach of Devin Newquist.
Good coverage there by the Cougars on defense, where it's going to be 3rd and short for the Wolves. They have the ball at the CK 39-yard line. They only need 1 yard to go here. They're going to send Aaron Ladeau and Newquist split to the far side. They're in that I formation. Chaz Bauman comes in at tailback for the Wolves.
They got CK coming with a stunt because they're in man coverage.
Meisner hands the ball off to Bauman, puts his head down, and I believe he will have the first down. They only needed a yard, and about where the officials are standing, but I don't know. We'll see.
That looks really close. Our officials signaling 4th down. He didn't get it.
He did not get it.
He needs to use 1100 plus and go forward and get that first down, and he's just kind of picking right now, and he needs the tailbacks know that there's a first down and they need to get to it. That's just number one on their priority.
So a big play right here. Meisner is just going to tuck his head down, the quarterback keeper, and his forward progress, and he's still going forward.
Nice
Look
job.
at Meisner just barrel his way to the left side for the quarterback keeper, and he gains a few more on the play, gets all the way down to the 34-yard line.
Nice job
where
by
it'll
the
be
lineman.
a first down for South Kitsap. Nice job by the line for the push.
Yeah, Meisner found the gap and got in it, but then the line just kept that pile going. That was a great job by the kids. Just staying on their guy, keeping their feet going, and CK, they had to try to weasel through all that and get to the quarterback. That's just tough to do. And Meisner's no slouch. He's a big kid, of course. He's weighing in at about 210 pounds. So
6:25 remaining here. They're going to pitch the ball to Gascoigne. He gets a little bit of a block, sprints to the outside, cuts up, stays on his feet, and he gets to the outside, get down near the 10, but hold everything. There's a penalty flag comes in from the side.
It looks like a block below the waist on Broom. That would be interesting to see on replay because Bryce is allowed to hit high and then continue his block and maybe go down the guy's blocking his body and then take out his feet if he maintains contact, but they're calling a hold instead. You're not allowed to do that in any regard. So
Gascoigne had a big carry on the play right there, but they're bringing it back. The penalty flag is down near the 22-yard line. Gascoigne had the first down easy, but with the holding penalty, they're going to have to march it back.
Spotted the foul, so they'll just go back 10 yards from where the flag is and basically replay the down. It's going to be almost an exact same spot, maybe first and 9.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to have it will be first and 9. They're going to have the ball at the 33-yard line of Central Kitsap, but more importantly, they do have that first down. Eddie Meisner with the little quarterback keeper, but the Wolves are still in business. The Central Kitsap Cougars got on the board first with a field goal, a 26-yard field goal by Weston Sodi, and that's where we stand right now here with 6:14 remaining in the first quarter, but the Wolves are on the move as they now have 3 wide receivers, 2 split to the far side. Bryce Broom goes in motion. Meisner is going to take a little 3-step drop, and he's got a man out in the flat. He was looking for Ladeau, but the pass was incomplete, but a penalty flag comes flying in, and I think that might be an illegal shift or an illegal formation maybe.
Yeah, generally the way that those flags came out on the snap of the ball, because if it was on CK like in the neutral zone, that would have been a dead ball and the play would not have continued, but I think you're right. I don't think we had enough guys on the line of scrimmage. And that's the call, illegal procedure, but it's a formation
But it
situation.
was a formation, exactly. So scoot the Wolves back 5 more yards. They're going to have the ball at the 38-yard line where they will have a 1st and 14 to go.
You're talking about field position and all that kind of stuff earlier, and the Wolves have done a nice job flipping this field, but now all of a sudden 2 penalties in a row, and now they're looking at a long-distance situation. So this play's kind of important. They need to get a chunk of that back so they can get themselves into manageable downs.
South Kitsap coming out here, 1st and 14 at the CK 38-yard line. They're going to send 2 wide receivers in. Ladeau to the near side. That C.J. Dowdy split to the far side. Meisner under center. They're going to hand the ball off to Gascoigne, who is met in the backfield by the Cougars on defense. Great tackle right there. Nothing doing. May have lost one on the play, but look down here on this near side, on the South Kitsap side. Another penalty flag comes flying in, and I think it's going to be another illegal procedure call with in the area of an illegal formation.
Well, this that was another stunt by the Cougars, and that brought Joel Eckloff off the corner kind of free. He's one of their bigger kids, 6'2", 230 senior, and he was able to meet Gascoigne in the backfield right after the handoff. And I'm not sure if this is just a 5-yarder. I think CK would probably be wise to just go ahead and decline it, go with 2nd and long. And I don't think it could be anything worse than that. I'm not sure what the big discussion is.
So South Kitsap with a couple of series of penalties here. We'll have to wait and see what the signal is from the official. And
Wolves,
it is.
Wolves need to get lined up. They're declining it.
It was declined, so it's going to be 2nd down right here. And we do have an update from our sources here, Coach, that in the bottom of the 6th, in the 7th and decisive game of the World Series, the St. Louis Cardinals lead the Texas Rangers 5-2, especially after a thrilling game 6 last night, as the Wolves come out in the I formation here. 2 wide receiver split, Meisner under center, and he's going to hand the ball off to Gascoigne on a little counter, but he's met quickly by the Cougars on defense. Doesn't get a whole lot forward progress. Puts it near the 30, we're going to call that the 37-yard line.
That's a good play call, but I don't think the backside guard and tackle got turned on the corner, which allowed the linebackers to step in and make that tackle. That's 42 Chris Negawaki. I hope I'm saying that right, a 5'11", 170-pound senior who got to meet Gascoigne head up because the tackle and guard didn't get around to seal him off.
So the Wolves have a big third down here. They need 14 yards. Miser's going to fake the handoff, and a little play action. He's got a man over. Oh, and the pass is incomplete. He hit him right in the hands. Newquist had it at the first. In fact, he had it past the first down marker, but the pass was incomplete. And we have a man down gingerly getting up here for the Wolves. One of the offensive linemen, number 76 for the Wolves. That's Philip Holt, the third.
Can't lose him. He's their center.
And he's coming up limping just a little bit, but I think he just got his bell rung. And
well,
he's a tough kid, I'll tell you that.
And he's coming off a sprained ankle from a few weeks ago, and I think he sat out even last week. So I hope that's not the same ankle, and they can maybe patch him up and keep him in here because he's pretty critical to the operation.
They can ill afford to lose him, one of the key linemen there for the Wolves, as the Wolves have a fourth down. Ledoux is going to have a little running, and he's going to kick the ball. It's going to go sailing into the end zone, though.
Unfortunate.
And Ledoux with the punt, but that's the kind of thing that we could be looking for here tonight, Coach, is that, it's a long fourth down right there, and obviously you're going to punt the ball away, but sometimes the Wolves, they might spring that on you if it's fourth and short, and Ledoux does that little rugby run to the side before he kicks, and if there's an opening, he could easily get it.
Well, down there you don't lose a whole lot, of course, especially if you kick it in the end zone, because I think that only gained him about 10 yards in total field position. But, yeah, definitely I think CK's got a lot of guys over there to contain him to the right, because that's the way we run it.
Well, they're going to hand the ball off to the man going in motion for CK, and as he goes out of motion, that was Dustin Simmons again. They had four wide receivers, and when he got hit, knocked out of bounds, he went sliding and looked like a tidal wave down there, like you were surfing in Hawaii.
Yeah, a little tsunami.
That field is awfully swampy and wet down there, but it's kind of funny because it doesn't look like that it is.
No, it's hidden beneath the grass, but it's there, and I can tell you, it's just footing is a premium out there right now, and I think it's probably best for the offense. They know where they're going.
So South Kitsap on defense now. CK's got the ball, 2nd and 7. Sweeterman looks to the man, and he's got a man right in the middle of the ball as the pass is incomplete. Good defense there by the Wolves. That was number 41, Michael Beard, on the coverage right there. It looked like the pass was thrown just a hair bit low, but good coverage by Beard, where it will be 3rd and long for Central Kitsap.
So now the Wolves are looking for getting the ball right back, get the punt team on the field, and get the Cougs off in a 3 and out. So big play for both teams right here as Cougs try to maintain ball control.
4:16 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Central Kitsap leading South Kitsap 3-0 after Weston Sodi kicked a 26-yard field goal. Sweeterman rolls or drops straight back, looks to a man. He's got a man out in the flat. It's caught. It is caught, and it will be a first down. The pass was completed to number 31. That was Joel Arndt. Trying to see, we're having some lighting issues up here. Joel Arndt, who made the catch, and he gets the first down. So CK with the nice little pass out the flat, and they're in business. First down with their first down with the Wolves, or against the Wolves. They're at the 31-yard line, as they're going to hand the ball off to the up back. That's number 27, Greg Cleveland. He bounces to the outside, gets a little bit of blocking, and he gets near that first down marker, but he got quite a bit on the gain right there, and it's going to be 2nd short. And a couple times that Cleveland has touched that ball, Coach, he's gained quite a bit.
Yeah, he's a big part also, and this is the ground game that CK has made famous. And this is kind of one of their bread and butters. Even with this spread offense, it looks like a passing offense, but it just spreads out the defense and allows lots of gaps to be created and chances for runners to run through them.
2nd and 2, Sweeterman under center. They're going to send a man in motion. That's Simmons. They're going to hand the ball off to right up the front, but not until he's taken down by Beard, who was right there to meet him. But nice job by Cleveland taking the handoff, going full speed. Boy, he hit that hole hard.
That's how you have to do it, and that's a good job. Another 5 yards and a first down for the Cougs.
Central Kitsap started at their own 20-yard line, after the punt by Ladeau went sailing into the end zone, but they now have the ball at the 45-yard line. Central Kitsap leading 3-0 here. A must-win game for both teams. The winner goes on to the state playoffs. They send 4 wide receivers, send a man in motion. That's Parker, and they're going to hand the ball off to the up-back one more time. A little trickery in the backfield. Looked like Simmons once again had the handoff. Nope, that was Cleveland, I believe. We'll have to, or no, that was number 28. We're trying to get our numbers up here correct. That was Zawodzki down there, and he was able to gain about 7 on the play, where it'll be 2nd and 3, and CK doing a pretty good job of sustaining this drive right here.
You can't get caught peeking in the backfield. Just trust the key ahead of you. It's telling you where the ball is. It doesn't matter who gets it. The key is in front of you, because there's a gap opening up for the blocking, and that's where the ball's going to go.
And they handed the ball off to Simmons that time, and he was stopped in the backfield, but he delayed a little bit and kept going forward and was able to get a first down. And so Central Kitsap crosses midfield, and they have the ball at the South Kitsap 42-yard line, and they are on the move once again.
SK's got a little bit of a buoy for their defense, particularly. They picked up Dominic Bodie back from injury. He injured his wrist earlier in the season and has been out for like the last 3 games, and he's got a soft cast on playing safety. And then they also have Caleb Nelson back at fullback and an inside backer, as he's coming off a broken clavicle earlier in the season and was cleared to play this week. So this should help us out, and that's Caleb on the tackle right there for a very short gain for CK.
That was Devin Newquist on the tackle there for the Wolves. Nice job by the Wolves on defense right there. It's a gain of only a couple, where it's going to be 2nd and long for Central Kitsap. They have the ball at the South Kitsap 39-yard line. They need to get down to the 31, 2nd and 8, as the Cougars come out. They're going to send trips wide receivers to the near side of this field. Sweeterman's been in the shotgun formation. They're going to hand the ball to the tailback, but he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Barely got back. It looked like the ball came loose, but I think that they whistled it down. And, Coach, that's what we were saying. We haven't seen a whole lot of it here tonight, but with these wet field conditions down there, that's one thing that both sides are going to have to watch out for, is hanging on to that football.
Yeah, Coach Sigurdsson's giving him an earful, because I don't think they had progress at all. I think there's a bunch of guys around him, but I think he was still going forward. And they blew that whistle awfully early, and the Wolves are in there stripping at that ball. So expect to see a lot of that this evening with the wet conditions.
Ball stays at the 39. They need 8 yards down to the 31. They're going to hand the ball off to the up-back one more time. They get some blocking straight up front, but not until he's taken down hard.
That's Austin Canals from the backside defensive end position making that tackle.
Austin Canals with the big tackle on defense gets down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 3, where it'll be 4th down, and looks like the Cougars are going to go for it here on 4th down.
A little bit out of Sodi's range, I believe, especially again with the mucky conditions, and cause you're in on the 35. It's pretty tough to punt from here too, but we'll see what they got going on here. As the quarter runs out, it's going to end up 3-0 here in the end of the first quarter.
And that is the end of the first quarter of play, and we will switch sides here. The Central Kitsap Cougars lead South Kitsap 3-0 after 1 quarter of play here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School, as the ball is placed at the South Kitsap 36-yard line, where they will swap sides. But, Coach, what do you think we might see here? You think that CK is going to go for it?
Oh, yeah, I do. And I don't know exactly what their tendencies are, but my guess is they're going to run some kind of a double handoff or that something like that. It's a little wing T. That's what this offense is kind of derived from, is the wing T with a lot of deception. So I expect to see a couple fakes and a handoff and hopefully catch the Wolves off guard, exploit a hole, and maybe get that first down. If not, they're okay as far as field position, because it's about as good as a punt anyway if they come up short.
Well, like you said, Coach, that is a good thing to see a couple of key players that are back playing, even if it might be a limited amount of playing time. But we see Caleb Nelson, who is back, and we see Dominic Bodie as well. But we're going to come out here after we switch sides at the end of the first quarter. CK leading South Kitsap 3-0. Central Kitsap will have the ball at the South Kitsap 36-yard line, and looks like that they are going to punt the ball away here. Oh, it's snapped over his head, and he does the smart thing right there. Good job. That was a good job by Central Kitsap there. The punter just fell on it. He didn't want to try and pick it up and get too cute, which he did not, and he fell down on it. But it's still, it's going to be a turnover on downs in which South Kitsap is going to have the ball in good field position. They're going to have the ball at the Central Kitsap 41-yard line. So just like that, good job by Central Kitsap, though. That could have been worse. It could have turned into some kind of a score for South Kitsap.
Special team for either of the squads, that punt team, because that can win and lose ball games right there. So usually give the long snapper the first seat on the bus as we're going deep, trying to quick strike and don't get it to Newquist.
It was overthrown. Devin Newquist, he had a step just a hair bit out of reach for Newquist by Meisner. If he'd just brought that in just a hair bit more, he could have had 6 points, but still a well-thrown ball. Pass is incomplete, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for South Kitsap. Like we said, they have the ball at the Central Kitsap 41-yard line. CK leading 3-0 here, but the Wolves would like nothing more than to get something going on offense as Aaron Ladeau is going to split to the far side. Newquist, who splashes his way near the 40-yard line. Meisner is under center. Gascoigne is the lone setback. They're going to pitch the ball out to the left side. A little bit of, here come the Cougars on defense, though, and they trip him up. Nice job tackling on defense by Central Kitsap, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 3rd and 10 for South.
Just ran out of guys. Everybody had a guy on him when the one gets to run free and make that tackle. That's a safety. There's not a guy accounted for the safety, so the tailback has to make him miss. And that's just tough to do when you're running laterally.
Central Kitsap was in a punt formation. The ball went sailing over the head of the punter, and he just fell on it at his own 41-yard line. But last couple of plays, South have not been able to capitalize on that as they now have 2 wide receivers. Meisner's going to roll to his right, looking for a man. He's got a man out in the flat, and the pass is incomplete. It was right in the hands of Devin Newquist at about the 28-yard line, but he dropped it.
That's Sodi on the coverage back over there, and yeah, I'm not sure what's going on because that looked like he hit him right between the hands and should have been caught. Instead, now instead of first down, it's punt time again for the Wolves.
So the pass was incomplete. It was intended for Devin Newquist at the CK 28-yard line, but it'll be 4th down from the CK 41-yard line, and South Kitsap will punt the ball away. Back is Greg Cleveland standing at about his 7-yard line, awaiting the punt. It's a little bit, they're going to go for it. That's Watley with it, and he's got a man out in the flat, and he's got Bryce Broom out in the 30, get down to the 25, but a penalty flag comes flying in here on the near side.
Lineman downfield to be my guess. I know you got a bunch of eligible numbers out there, but not all of them are eligible based on where they lined up, and I don't think, I'm not sure if it was communicated, but they have to stay at the line of scrimmage pass block if they're going to throw the ball downfield. So I'm thinking that Coach Sigerson's arguing once again that this call is not accurate. We'll see what number they give him because I'm not sure everybody lined up, but everybody you see in that position or in that huddle right there all have eligible numbers. So it's based on position at this point with the punt team.
The ball was at the 41. South Kitsap lined up to punt the ball, and I think that it is an ineligible man downfield, but I sure did not see it. But they went for the fake. They faked it to the up back, who was Kevin Watley, who's a backup quarterback. And he was looking downfield, but then he hit Bryce Broom out in the flat. Broom had enough for the first down, as we're going to have a replay right here. We'll see. But, boy, I sure didn't see it down line. I mean, I didn't see, I guess, looked like that. We see the replay. Yep, looked like a couple of linemen were downfield. So
it's the right tackle. I believe it was Anthony Williams, number 35. He was blocking his guy, but then he released him and started running downfield. So actually that's a good call, and unfortunate for the Wolves because they had a first down. Now it's back to punt position. So he's just got to hang in there until that pass is made, and I guess he just didn't know that.
On 4th down, the Wolves will most likely kick it this time, but and it's going to be a shanker off the side of his foot. That's Ladeau. And it's going to take one bounce and then go out of bounds at the Central Kitsap 26-yard line. And, boy, I thought there was going to be another penalty right there because it looked like one of the Wolves was going in motion and turned upfield, but and he clearly turned upfield, but there was no penalty thrown. So, but either way, Central Kitsap is going to have the ball at their own 26-yard line where they will have 1st and 10. Central Kitsap still leading here with 10:45 remaining in the first half of play. CK leading South Kitsap 3-0 as they come out. Sweeterman is in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers. 1 man comes in motion. That's Cleveland. They're going to fake the handoff, and it goes bouncing around. A penalty flag comes flying, and Sweeterman's looking for something. Bounces to the outside, and the Wolves are going to take him down inside the 21, but a couple of penalty flags were thrown almost as fast as the ball was snapped on that play.
Well, again, if it's on the Wolves, that would have been a dead ball, so I'm thinking it's some kind of a procedural issue with the CK Cougars. South will take that play and come up with a 2nd and 14 versus a 1st and 15.
Sweeterman was forced out, tackled out of bounds at the 21, and the penalty will go against CK. And the South Kitsap coaches down there waving it off, saying refuse the penalty. And it was an illegal shift, an illegal formation. And there was a double penalty thrown, 2 penalty flags. And they were saying that on the second flag there was a personal foul, looked like a blow to the head.
Leading with the helmets, what they're calling, I guess, on the tackle on the far side. So that makes those penalties offset, and we just replay the down. It's 1st and 10, Central Kitsap.
And they are, so the penalties negate each other, and it will be 1st and 10 for Central Kitsap at their own 26-yard line. They're going to come out, stay in that shotgun formation. They've got 3 wide receivers, 2 men in the backfield. Sweeterman, Cleveland goes in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Simmons, who tries to get to the outside right. He cuts up, gets down to the 30-yard line, so he's going to get 4 yards on the carry, where it will be 2nd and 6, but looks like that double penalty. They would have had the ball at their own 21-yard line, an extra 5 yards, so every yard counts.
Absolutely, and that call leading with the helmet, shoot, I think you could call that every play. You can call it on anybody you want to. You're leading with your helmet when you're blocking, you're leading with your helmet when you're tackling, and so they just got to, I guess, measure intent, what you're trying to do with that helmet. And, we saw that last week with the Hawks. They made a really nice play and didn't get it. There's a bubbled handoff.
They dropped the ball on the floor. Sweeterman, he had it. It was snapped back to him, and he dropped it, picked it up. They handed it off to the tailback, but they got a couple of loss on the play right there, and it's going to be 3rd and long for Central Kitsap. So looks like the field conditions are starting to have a little bit more of an effect down there, Coach.
Well, I do like the fact we're on a wet, slippery turf when they're doing the shotgun, because that does make that just a little bit tougher to snap the ball out of the water and then catch it with a little bit of pace on it every time if you're the quarterback. And if his hands get a little bit wet, it just makes it a little bit dicier. So that might work out for South, this particular offense.
There's a little confusion in the backfield by Central Kitsap. They're going to have to call a timeout.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that lineup right there, they didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. They would have had another illegal formation penalty. But Coach Keel saw that, called timeout, because pretty critical. They want to keep this ball and this drive alive with 3rd and 8.
Tyler Parker was kind of dancing around a little bit from side to side, and by the time he got set up on the far side of the field, Sweeterman just wasn't comfortable yet getting that set, so he burns a timeout. And Central Kitsap, that is their first timeout of the half, and they have 2 remaining. South Kitsap has not called any timeouts here, but they will have the ball at their own, we're going to call that their own 29-yard line, and they need to get down to the 36-yard line. So this is a big play right here for both sides. And but I'll tell you, Coach, they're starting to head right to the middle of Mud Central right down there in the middle of that field.
Yeah, there's a strip right through there between the 35s that is just really gnarly.
I don't think we'll see remnants of what we had a few years ago when South Kitsap beat Gig Harbor 3-0, but it was just a mud fest down there as the Central Kitsap coaches go off the field. Sweeterman is in the shotgun. They've got trips formation to the far side. Sweeterman in the shotgun. He's going to fake this, and he's going to hand the ball off on the draw, and that is to the tailback. Good call there. That was to number 28, Zawadzki, who took the handoff, and the Wolves were looking for the pass, and they got the run, and the Central Kitsap Cougars got the first down all the way to their own 37-yard line.
That's why that formation was critical that they got in it, because they had this play called right here, and penalty obviously would have negated that great gain there and get the first down for the Cougs, keep this drive alive.
So CK has a first down at their own 37. Still leading 3-0 here in the first half. They're going to hand the ball off to Simmons, and his head snaps backwards.
As what a hit on defense by the Wolves.
You know
he
what
still bounces forward, and I'm wondering if they're going to call a helmet-to-helmet on that one again.
That's what they're going to call again. That's leading with the helmet. I'm sure, again, they're going to call that on Knaus, even though, you know, I just believe that's what football is. But with all the concussions and all the concerns with that, they're making an emphasis, and I guess really they're making an emphasis here in the last game instead of throughout the season, because I haven't seen this a lot, to be honest with you. And now in the last 5 minutes, we've seen it twice.
They're going to call a personal foul, helmet to helmet. I can't believe it. It's almost as if, you know, what are you supposed to do?
Your head's supposed to go to the side. You're supposed to initiate contact with the shoulder. That's the way the rule is read for a while. But, you know, anybody that's ever played this game, you know that you kind of just like sticking your nose right in there. And so it's really hard. You know, we teach it that way, and it is taught correctly. And for the most part, these kids do a really good job. But when you're running in there, you're coming off a block. I don't know if you're really thinking about shoulder, helmet, sideways, all that kind of stuff. You're thinking about getting into that kid and giving him a good whack. So.
Well, a good tackle leads to a penalty. Central Kitsap has a first down with Wolf territory. Sweeterman, he's looking down. He's going to go for the low pass up, and the pass is incomplete. He was sandwiched down there. That was Tyler Parker.
And that's Bodie with the rip in the middle there. It kind of dismantled the receiver there some.
Nice job. Tyler Parker. You can totally understand if a defender was coming in and leading with his helmet like he was trying to spear somebody or
Totally.
trying to hurt someone, but that was just good fundamental football tackling right there, and there isn't a whole lot that you can do here. So we've got a third down for the Wolves,
Second down,
or
actually.
second down
10.
for the Cougars, and the Cougars are going to hand the ball off to Cleveland, who bounces out to the outside, and he still stays on his feet inbound. Looked like he was going to be forced out, but he was taken down, but not until he got a couple more on the play. But it's going to be third down right there, as Central Kitsap is going to have the ball. But this is another key third down here for Central Kitsap. They've got the ball down to the South Kitsap 40-yard line. They need to get down to the 34, as they're going to have it here with just a few minutes remaining. But we've got Central Kitsap is coming out. They're going to have a little bit of a tighter formation up front, but they still send two wide receivers to this near side. Sweeterman sends Cleveland in motion, and he's going to hand the ball off to Simmons, who's hit hard from behind. That's Michael Beard leading the way, and he's not going to get very much. He's only going to gain about one on the play, and it's going to be fourth down, a penalty flag on the near side.
Formation issues for CK too. Both teams having a little trouble getting lined up correctly and having the right number of people on the line of scrimmage.
So Central Kitsap looks like they're going to have a penalty against them. I would imagine that they're
illegal
going
shift.
It's an illegal shift.
So that's two guys or more in motion is what that ends up being, because the line wasn't set for a count maybe before the kid went in motion, and therefore that makes that an illegal shift called by this near side linesman. Declined by the Wolves, of course, who will take the ball on the punt here and fourth down.
Central Kitsap has the ball at their own 40-yard line, where they will be punting the ball away. The last punt they had went awry. Luckily, they stopped South from being able to do anything with it, but they standing back. Another little high snap, but this time it doesn't go anywhere, and they're trying to get away. That was Bryce Broom on the back, and he's going to actually come up, try and field the ball.
He does.
And he
Good
does.
job.
And he gets a couple on the play, gets back to the 20-yard line. They were going to just let it go. Broom was just signaling everybody to get out of the way.
Maybe deacon the defense there, though, a little bit, because, they kind of let up on it, too, and he kind of saw that, picked it up, made a little bit of something out of nothing there.
And a couple of Cougars, about 3 or 4 Cougars went flying on by, but Broom was able to take the ball, pick it up. Good thing he did pick it up, though. It can get a little slippery down there, but not until the Wolves are in business, and they have it at their own 20-yard line. First and 10.
Kind of a big drive for the Wolves here with time winding down. We're inside 7 minutes.
They hand to Gascoigne, and he gets to the outside, but not until he has a big gain, gets near the 30. He's going to be a couple yards short. and gets down to the 27, a gain of 7, where it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Wolves. But the Wolves would love to get a couple of first downs right here with just over 6 minutes remaining here, still trailing 3-0 over trailing South Kitsap trailing Central Kitsap 3-0.
Good first down play too, so they needed that little boost there on having a 2nd and short. And we're still trying to complete our first pass, so doggone it, but we're 2nd and short now, 3rd and short, so hopefully this is a manageable 3rd down. We can get the first down and keep this drive going. South Kitsap's looking for something positive on this play and get in there and get that first down, keep this drive alive after that good first down play.
We just had a few technical difficulties, but I think we got it all straightened up here tonight. As a little low haze of fog is starting to come in here tonight.
It's wet and cool, and it's just getting cooler. I like it. I love this fall temperature. It feels really good to me.
South needs 3 yards right here for the first down. They got to get to the 30. They're going to hand the ball off on the counter to Gascoigne. He's taken down from behind. I don't think he's going to get.
No, he's just not. They're not getting a seal. They're doing a better job on the down blocks, but the guys getting around the corner are not getting to their guys. CK's doing a nice job avoiding and getting in there and making the tackle for minimal gain. That's usually a big gamer for the Wolves, and CK's been able to stop it so far this evening.
They did not get the first down right here, but we do have an update before the Wolves punt the ball right here. In the bottom of the 7th inning, St. Louis still leads Texas 5-2 in the 7th and final game of the World Series, as the ball is going to bounce around, and it just actually... when the ball hit, it was a good punt by CK, and at about the 35-yard line, it just made a nice splash landing down there on the field. So Central Kitsap is going to have the ball at their own 31-yard line, still leading South Kitsap 3-0 with 5:06 remaining here in the first half.
Well, it's tough conditions, but that was a pretty nice punt for given how wet it is around here, although, of course, it's not going to roll very far. So in the air, it looks like Ladeau had almost 40-some yards on that punt. So that's big, and of course, the Wolves have a fairly good long field to defend here, 70 yards for the Cougs to go here, and 5 minutes to go in the half.
Sweeterman comes out in the shotgun. They've got 4 wide receivers, been doing this most of the night. They're going to hand the ball off, fake the handoff. He's got a man out in the flat, and the pass is incomplete.
Dodged a bullet. We had man-to-man coverage, and we're just a little bit tardy on that with our linebacker coverage, and fortunately for the Wolves, CK couldn't handle that pass, so that might have been a big gainer.
Simmons was the intended receiver in the flat, and it hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. So a big break for the Wolves right there. He had a lot of running room where the pass is incomplete.
Unfortunate circumstance for the Cougs. That was a well-designed play, and they just caught the backers not doing their job. They're supposed to be man-to-man, locked in on a guy, not necessarily in the backfield, and I think that's what got happening there.
Central Kitsap comes out, 4 wide receivers. Sweeterman's going to look for a man, and he's got him, and makes the catch around the 35-yard line, and he's got a lot of room, gets up near midfield. The pass was complete right to Greg Cleveland, who made a great catch coming off of a slant pass right down the middle, and the Cougars are in business here as they were able to get the first down right at midfield.
Yeah, that was, Sweeterman just winding up and drilling it in there. It wasn't that long of a pass, but he just drilled it right into the stomach, and that's a good job of catching it and running with it.
So Central Kitsap comes out. They're on the move here with 4:37 remaining. They send Cleveland in motion, and it's a low snap, and they hand the ball off to Simmons, and he's not going anywhere on that one, as the Cougars had a little mishandling on the snap back to Sweeterman, but they lose about 1 on the play, where it will be 2nd and 11 from their own 49-yard line, and that's kind of the thing you don't want to do here, Coach, is where you get a couple of big plays and then you end up fumbling the ball, especially if you hang on to it.
Well, especially if you don't hang on to it, because the Wolves then have a short field and plenty of time to get down there and maybe get some points. CK'd love to run this quarter out and end it with the possibility of a touchdown or a field goal or something, of course.
Cleveland goes in motion. They're going to hand the fake, and they're going to hand the ball off to Cleveland. It gets to the outside. Nice job on defense right there by the Wolves on the outside. Great tackle by Bryce Broom, who was right there to take Cleveland down for another big loss.
Yeah, that's a good job at first by Beard, who just needs to hang on to him. That's a good job running the alley by him, but great job on Bryce Broom's part of coming through there and finishing that play up. Broom's got his supporters down, the fans are sporting some O-Cedar Angler brooms down there for him.
Good job by Bryce Broom on defense, making the tackle as Central Kitsap loses more ground all the way back to their own 44-yard line.
And we saw a draw in this situation last time, so the Wolves got to do a good job here just taking care of their position. Corners are up and press, so it makes me think that perhaps we might be in a...
Sweeterman drops back, and he's going for the home run ball, and the pass is on. It's complete. It is caught.
That was a great catch.
That was a really good catch. The ball was actually thrown behind. That was Cleveland streaking down the sideline. Good coverage, though, by the Wolves on defense. The ball, actually, though, it's a good thing that he threw the ball behind because that's exactly where he needed to go because the corner was doing such a great job on coverage.
I was kind of looking at this near side receiver and watching him get lined up. I thought they snapped the ball as he was still moving in position, but there was no call on that, so they got a big play out of that.
Central Kitsap down to the South Kitsap 25-yard line for the first down. They're going to hand the ball straight up the middle. And they got a few on the play right there for the Cougars. I don't know if I saw a flag, but I see the whistles are blowing. Looks like an official timeout. That looks like Simmons, who had the carry. He comes up a little bit wobbly.
We have procedure on the Cougs. Now that's a big penalty because instead of a second and mid-range kind of a play, they're going to run 1st and 15 again, I believe. That the Wolves would be wise, I believe, to take this penalty and push him back because we're winding this quarter down, this half down, and they really rather not give up a lot of points here. If anything, a field goal.
CK started the drive at the south that last play at the south 25-yard line after a big pass play from Sweeterman to Cleveland, but there's an illegal procedure call. Scoot him back 5, and it's going to be 1st and 15 from the South Kitsap 30-yard line.
You look at the stats on this game and what these teams have done over the season, and they're pretty equally matched. You see points for and against and yardage gained and all that kind of stuff. So it's just going to boil down to these kinds of things right here, and then both teams have a little trouble with getting lined up early.
Sweeterman hands the ball off to the tailback. In the backfield, looked like Cleveland once again. He doesn't get a whole lot right there. May have gotten a couple back. Actually, this time it was Zawadzki who had the call, and he gained a couple back. But it's still going to be 2nd and long for Central Kitsap.
So my point was that both teams have had some nice-looking drives, and then they get stalled because they make these are mental mistakes, if you ask me, and they need to be able to line up and execute these plays a little bit better than they're doing. If they want to continue on and win this game.
Sweeterman in the shotgun. They've got 4 wide receivers. He's looking to his left. Now he's looking to his middle. Now he runs out of the pocket. He's hit, spins around, but he's still going forward. He just kept spinning around to avoid all of the tackles, and he gained about a yard on that play where it's going to be 3rd and 11. They do need to get down to the South Kitsap 15-yard line for the first down.
Now, I'm kind of interested now as I'm watching the clock wind down to almost a minute. And CK does have a couple timeouts left, but maybe they're thinking they're going to wind this thing all the way down. If they don't get this play off, or if it doesn't get a first down, I should say, and it's manageable 4th down, they bring Sodi in, let the clock keep running, and leave South with nothing as they end this quarter.
Central Kitsap has 2 timeouts remaining. They come out 4 wide split. Now there's the whistles blow here.
This is odd to me now because they just lost probably, almost between the whistle and then ready for play and then all the way down to this timeout, probably about 30 to almost 40 seconds of time. And I'm thinking if I get the first down but I don't get the touchdown, then I needed to have enough time to get the touchdown even after we get a first down. So I might have used one of my timeouts earlier in this just to make sure we're where we want to be. So
Central Kitsap burns their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining. South Kitsap has all 3 timeouts left, but there are 51 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. Central Kitsap got on the board first in the first quarter on their first drive after a big run back by Cleveland, and but the Cougars only managed a field goal, and that is where we stand right now. The Cougars leading 3-0 but they have a big 3rd down play coming up here. They do have 1 timeout remaining, and like you're saying, Coach, that they're probably going to go for it here. Obviously, they'd like to get the first down, but if they don't, they're just going to probably let that clock wind down and go for the field goal. As they're going to come out of the timeout here, they're going to send 3 wide receivers to the near side. They're going to split them pretty far here.
Little bunch situation and run a little combo
Sweeterman's going to he's going to hand the ball off to the middle, and that was handed off to Zawadzki, but Central Kitsap was not trying to gain anything right there, as they're going to down it, and the officials stop play, and South Kitsap is now going to burn their first timeout. And again, like you said, Coach, interesting clock management there by the Cougars.
Well, it is now. It makes, the sense is they were going to try now at this point, I think, to kick the field goal. And if South wouldn't have called the timeout, just let the clock run down as far as they could without another penalty, go ahead and kick it and leave SK with minimal time. But South using one of their timeouts, trying to buy a little bit of time here. So perhaps to ice the kicker and also leave themselves some more time with 2 timeouts after an ensuing kickoff, should this be good, to do something with the ball and maybe come up with some points.
Well, the ball is going to be placed at the 28-yard line.
And I don't know what Sodi's range is, but this is going to be 38 yards plus 7, so probably about a 45-yarder from where they're going to point, put the block down. And it's pretty tricky footing out there, so we'll see if they don't run a fake here instead.
So 45 seconds remaining, and the kick is going to be up, and it is going to be well short. Weston Sodi went for a 45-yard field goal attempt, and it is no good. And the score still remains 3-0 Central Kitsap here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School with 39 seconds remaining. South Kitsap does have all 3 timeouts remaining.
No, 2.
Or excuse me, you're right. So they do have 2 timeouts remaining. But we'll see if South Kitsap tries to get anything done, and maybe we might see a little bit of a hook and ladder play, maybe.
Yeah, if they've been scouting CK, I'm sure they know it could happen. You're getting some crowd shots on your screens, you people at home, and there's been a little bit of rivalry going back and forth throughout the week. The student bodies of both these teams pretty excited about playing each other, and SK, they're all dressed in white. It's a whiteout evening, and all the fans that are students here, at least, they are all dressed in white, showing their spirit. And then you look across, the CK kids are all in black, showing their spirit, and that's great high school rivalry, and we hope it stays right at that.
Eddie Meisner drops straight back. He's got a man out there. Oh, and he had a man. Bryce Broom.
Got to get his head around. That was a good job by Eddie. He's throwing some nice balls. The receivers got to do a better job of being ready for him, because Bryce, as soon as he clears those backers, has to have that head around so he can catch that, because you're not going to run into the safety and just get hammered. You want him to have the ball so he can make a move on that safety, because then it's just Bryce Broom and lots of yardage. So Bryce just needs to get his head around, catch that ball.
South Kitsap with the incomplete pass. Meisner was looking for Broom down the middle. It'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 20-yard line as they break the huddle here. Time has stopped, and they're going to just run the ball straight up the middle. They got a little bit of room going right up the middle. Nice job by Broom. The quick handoff up the middle where the clock will stop. South still has 2 timeouts remaining. They get all the way down to the 35-yard line.
It's fullback trap right there, and that's something that works well for the Wolves. They stole from the old SC teams that used to feature tailbacks like we do. And you forget about that fullback, and many of those tailbacks at SC started out as fullbacks, and they had to do their duty in the fullback position before they got to move 2 yards back. And my guess is that that's kind of what Bryce's deal is too. Although he's such a hard-nosed kid, he might like that fullback position. But giving him a carry and doing that quick hitter on the trap, CK just not really keying on him too much, so South's able to get that big gain.
Well, South will have the ball at their own 35-yard line. They still have 1 timeout remaining. They can also stop the clock by advancing the chains. And we do know that Aaron Ladeau does have a leg. A couple weeks ago, he kicked a 49-yard field goal, albeit the weather conditions were just a little bit more solid back then. But we do know that he can kick the ball from that distance if they could get down to about the 32-yard line of Central Kitsap.
The scoreboard, the wind is coming from the south right now in this field, so it would be a little bit into the wind. Also, just a little bit of a breeze.
Meisner was under center, and he was trying to get the snap off here, but Central Kitsap burns their 3rd and final timeout here. We were wondering if there was, we didn't see any penalty flags.
No, it's a timeout, CK, so maybe they were looking to see how South was going to line up, so now they know what the play call may have been, and then they're doing something to coach their kids up against what we might be doing. I'm guessing they're talking that hook and ladder that you were mentioning earlier.
Well, I think that this is a situation where your defense, you want to tell them to make sure that you just play solid and stay home and, do your job and don't let keep even out.